Okay, today we're going to talk about lawn care advice for beginners. I've got 17 tips that I'm going to share with you guys that are just starting out, and hopefully some of these tips you'll put into play, listen to them, act on them, and make a better life for yourself. So, number one, learn all you can from YouTube. I have learned a great deal from YouTube, been on it, I don't know, can't even tell you how many years, but YouTube changed the way I did business a great deal. Read all you can on the internet. So go on there and look at everything you can. If you don't have the answers you're looking for, go on there. There's a lot of material on there now. There's ebooks you can get now. I can't recommend any of the ebooks because I've never really went that route. I was always a video guy. I enjoyed watching videos and I learned a lot from them. So I didn't do that too much. So anyway, the next step was basically learn your marketing. Okay, if you're going to get into this business, any business for that matter, you're going to have to sell your services to somebody, right? Well, how do you sell it to them? You have to market to them. You have marketing pieces. You might start out with business cards, maybe a little 4x6 postcard like a door hanger that you're leaving out, something like that. And all good things to start with. I could just do one video after another on marketing. But anyway, learn the marketing. Learn the best things for marketing. Today there's a lot of different ways you can do it with Facebook and pay-per-click advertising and a few others. But I guess when you're starting out, going door to door is a real good way to pick up clients. Just knocking on doors, talking to people, or just slipping your business card in their doors, or a little postcard about your business. That's always a good way to get started. But learn how to market. So do your studying. When I say learn how to market, you can't just up and create a postcard and it just says John's Lawn Mowing and a phone number. And you could do that, but it sucks ass, versus making a real nice one that talks about, John's Lawn Maintenance Service is now working in your neighborhood. Please call today for a free estimate with a phone number on the back, or a coupon or something to get their attention, right? So if you learn the marketing techniques and then apply them to that, that's a good way to get up and running, okay? Do your marketing. After you've learned it, you've studied it, you've made a better postcard, you've made a better door hanger, you've gone through a lot of the steps, you think you've made the best one. Always keep experimenting with them as you go so that you can find out which cards work the best. I used to do that down in Florida all the time. I would have one that looked really super professional, and then I would have another one that came out that just said, your lawn care guy sucks. Call us, we can do a great job for you, blah, 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 blah. Just to do a test one time to see which ones did better. Believe it or not, the one where I came out and said your lawn care guy sucks did better for us than the actual professional one, because it was very different. It stood out. It got their attention. They looked at that and they got one of two things. They either thought, you don't know what you're talking about, I got a great lawn guy, and they threw it in the garbage, or they looked at that and laughed and thought, you know what, yeah, my guy does suck. I am going to call these guys. And the people I would key to marketing to those people, I would drive around, and when I found the lawns that looked shitty, I would make sure that I put one in their door. So when they come home at night, they pull it up, your lawn guy sucks ass, or whatever. They look at that and they're just like, yeah, I guess he does. Yeah, look at this, So it's just a little test that I did back in the day. But anyway, get your prices right. That's the next thing. So what do I mean by that? I mean investigate what everybody's getting in your neighborhood. How do you do that? I'll tell you what, I don't care what anybody says. I'll call them up, I'll ask them for a price, okay? I'll tell them I got a quarter of an acre, third of an acre, whatever. Try and get a price from them over the phone so they don't have to drive out there and look at it, okay? The most you're wasting is a couple minutes of their time versus having them drive out there and have a look at it. One way or the other, you have to find out what the average is. Are they getting $20 a yard? Are they getting $70 a yard? What are they getting? And you need to be in the middle to upper area when you put your pricing in. I don't care if you're just starting out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that you should come in there and mow them for $10 because you're just starting out. That is a terrible way to do business. It's awful. Don't ever do that. You can still get the work. Okay, if these guys are getting 35 or 45 a lawn, you can still get the work if you come in at the same price they are. Even if you're new at it, it doesn't matter. What people want is a good job and someone that's dependable. They don't care if it's from you who started yesterday or Jim Bob down the road who's been doing it for 30 years. As if Jim Bob does a shitty job, they're going to get rid of his ass. Okay? So you have just as good a chance as they do of getting into that. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, so do what you say you will do. Okay? That's another big mistake people make. If you tell someone, I'm going to come in here, I'll pick the garbage every time I come, I'll blow the leaves off your lawn, I will make sure I do the edging on your driveways. Make sure you do the things you say you're going to do. You have one chance to leave a good impression with them. And you should want to leave a good impression every single time you're there. You should want to do a perfectly manicured job every time you're there. A mistake that I made early on, way early on, when I thought I had to come in at lower prices, and I was still trying to do a super duper job for these people and it was taking me forever to get done, I was like, you know what? I'm only getting paid this low amount. Why am I doing all that extra stuff? So then I stopped doing it. I stopped doing a perfect job. That was a terrible mistake. It's something I never should have done. I should have raised the prices because all that did was make the guys fire me. It put a bad taste in their mouth about me, and I'm sure they told other people about me, right? Terrible. If you don't feel you're getting paid adequate, raise your prices instead. And then if they get rid of you, they didn't get rid of you because of poor quality. They got rid of you because they couldn't afford you. Okay? Work on that on your pricing scheme. All right? All right. Creating density. The first time I heard this was from Lawn Care Millionaire. And he had in his videos about creating density was so vital. And yeah, website can get you so much. So for example, you could get a job up here, you could get a job there, all over town, but it doesn't connect the dots, right? You get 50 lawn accounts, but they're all over the place, all right? So what you need to do, as soon as you get that one, you need to get on that street, just like Jonathan says, get on that street and pound the crap out of that thing, okay? Market, market, market. You're in there to own that street. Here's the reason for it. If you have to drive 20 minutes to get to that property, and then you have 20 minutes to do the work on that property and drive 20 minutes back, you can spend an hour there and you charge them $25 or whatever. Okay, so you made 25 bucks. What would happen if you marketed on that street and you picked up a couple more? Wouldn't it be well worth your time to spend that extra time marketing in that area to create the density? So now when you go there, say you pick up 4 of them there, now you're going in there at 25 bucks a pop, you can make $100 when you drive for that 20 minutes, right? So that's the idea behind density, and you'll hear this from me over and over again because it is that critical. It makes a difference between you being profitable a lot of times and you not being profitable. You'll be way more profitable if you can drive that 20 minutes and then do 4 jobs and then drive the 20 minutes back than you will if you had to drive that 20 minutes, do 1 job, and drive 20 minutes back. Got it? Okay, good. All right, do good work. Very, very important. I kind of touched on it earlier. Whenever you get them, you get a client, you want to do good work for them because they will fire you over nothing, okay? Do a bad job one time and they'll fire you. So people today you're just like a throwaway item, okay? So you need to do a good job every time. And if you do, they will tell other people, and word of mouth will get you more business, okay? So it's another way to get more business, word of mouth. That works with you not having to do anything. You do a good job for Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones is going to tell his neighbors, when they ask him, hey, who does your lawn? They sure do a good job. He's going to tell them. Then all of a sudden you pick them up, and then you pick another one up over here, and it just keeps going like that. So word of mouth is a good thing, right? Do good work. All right, so you've done all of that. You've done your marketing. You've done a good job on the property. Now you need to save your money, okay? Don't blow the money. The more money you start bringing in, I see this happen all the time with younger lawn care companies. As soon as they start making this money, they start spending money on foolish things like the new truck that they didn't have to have, you know, lottery tickets at the gas station and Monster Energy drinks and all this kind of crap that they didn't have to have. But now they have money in their pocket. Now they can buy it, so they start doing it. Instead, what I encourage you to do is to save your money and invest your money. Okay? Save the money you've made as much as you can. Obviously, you have expenses you have to take care of. But then what's left, save it. Say, hey, I need a new mower. I know that that used mower that I'm starting out with is not going to run forever. I know I'm going to need a new one. So I need to start putting away some money to get that thing. Okay? You can't do that if you keep driving that old mower and one day it blows up on you. And then you don't have the money to fix it. This is why you see a lot of companies that start up 1 year, they're done in 1 year because they don't even think about that expense, and all of a sudden the expense is there and they don't have the money to go buy a new mower. It's because they didn't save any money. They didn't set it aside. Okay? That's what you need to do. Put aside as much as you possibly can and then slowly upgrade as you buy equipment. Okay? You don't need to start out with new equipment. It would be nice to. I've seen guys do that. I've seen them go to the bank, get a loan, buy all new equipment, and they didn't know how to market worth of shit, so they didn't bring in a bunch of work. They still had big payments they had to make. All of a sudden, everything went back to the bank. The bank owned it all because you couldn't pay the payments. So don't do that. Build slowly as you go, as you get your foot in the door and you start to learn your business. As you start to learn your business more, then keep expanding, keep getting a little better equipment all the time. Okay, that's what I recommend you do, especially for you beginner guys. All right. We kind of touched about the equipment. Don't go out buying that new truck and all that. I know you guys want fancy things. You want a fancy, good-looking truck and all that. That will come in time. Okay? And there is something to be said for that. For going to a property and having a rusted out truck versus a beautiful truck. But I'll tell you what, when you're starting out, that rusty truck, it doesn't matter. If that's the wheels you got, that's the wheels you got. I don't care if you got to park around the side of the house when you go to do the estimate and you got to walk around to the front, okay, to get that work. Do it. I've done it. A lot of you guys have done it, I'm sure. You know, kind of hide that truck, you know, the old rust bucket, till you get going. And then eventually you buy a nice truck and you letter it up nice and so on and so forth. All right. So, look and act professional without spending a fortune, okay? Just get t-shirts. I get t-shirts and I don't even know if I look professional half the time. I've got cut-off sleeves on them and stuff, but that's just me. That's the way I like to be, but at least my name is right here or it's on the back of the shirt. And I don't come up with a shirt that's all ripped up, big holes in it all over the place, stained all the hell. That just looks terrible, okay? Have a nice hat on maybe, you know, with your logo and another logo here. That's fine. A pair of jeans that aren't all ripped to crap. And, you know, you'll do a lot better off than the guy that comes up there that looks like he just crawled out of bed after drinking beer all night and eating pizza and it all ran down your shirt and it's all stained. You know, you're going to get the job before that guy will. Promise you that. All right. That being said, take care of your equipment that you do have. Spend the time on maintenance. Every week, I know our guys, we take all of our equipment in, strip everything down, go through it, sharpen the blades, clean the decks, blow out the air filters, check the plugs, clean them. What else? Airing up all the tires. We pressure wash them all off. The oils are changed every interval that they're supposed to be. It's greased every time it comes in the shop. It's greased a minimum of once a week, if not twice a week. So everything we have, when you buy it, there's always been a controversy about, do you spend the time and money taking care of them, or do you just run them till they blow up, or do the maintenance and spend the extra expense on the maintenance? I say spend the extra money on the maintenance because I believe you get more out of it. Your equipment runs longer, lasts longer, runs better, and you can't afford to be down. You can't afford for that mower to blow up on you or your trimmer, and you got to go spend $250 on a new trimmer because yours just blew up on you. So all those things are important, okay? So just try to remember to take care of your stuff. Take the time to take care of all your equipment, all right? Now, down to the nuts and bolts of this thing. You spent all the time to learn marketing. You put out your marketing pieces. and the phone rings and you don't answer it. That is the worst thing you can do. That phone needs to be embedded in you so that you've got it with you all the time and you could feel that thing vibrating, or you could hear it go off, whatever, so that you can get that call. Don't be the guy that does all the marketing and all the advertising and then you just don't answer the phone, because you just did it all for nothing. You did all of that for nothing, and that's a lot. It's a lot to learn marketing. You've got money invested in marketing materials, and you've got money invested in getting those materials out. And if you don't answer the phone, you just shot yourself in the foot. So that's probably one of my #1 tips. The other and final tip that is just is important is answering that phone, is being Johnny on the spot. I like to bid jobs right over the phone. Okay, this is just me, and I do it for lawn care. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll come up with a set price for these areas that I know the average yard is 1/4 of an acre, 1/3 of an acre, maybe a 1/2 acre, maybe 4 acres, whatever. Depends if you're in the country or if you're in the city. So I automatically have pricing set up. So when I do answer that phone, I can give them a price right over the phone. Well, why is that important? First off, it is important because if I give them a price over the phone and they're searching for a lawn care guy, they have me on the phone. If they don't mind, say I quoted them $50 to mow their lawn, if they don't mind that, they may take me right now and never call anyone else. Right? Your foot's in the door. You just locked them in and you didn't give them a reason to call anybody else. On the other hand, if you told them, yeah, I'll be out there on Thursday to see you. All right, well, that's fine. Okay, we'll see you then. Meanwhile, I call 17 other companies. 6 more guys come over and look at the property. I've already got somebody hired by the time you actually get there. Okay? Don't give them the chance to do that. And I'm tired of the argument that people say, and don't even listen to this. When they tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't give prices over the phone, because if you get there and there's so much more to trim around and so much more to edge around, you need to go through the neighborhoods and look at these properties to begin with so that you have an idea. If I quote her somewhere between $40 and $50 for that specific property, you can always go there and raise your price. You can go there and say, Mrs. Jones, I'm sorry, I didn't realize there were so many things to trim around or edge around or whatnot. I might have to go up a little bit on my price, just so that it's fair for me. And 9 out of 10 times, they're okay with that. They understand it. They know they got a gazillion things in their lawn you got to trim around and edge around. You're locking them in, but yet you're not. You're leaving an option that, look, unless it was some unforeseen, ridiculous thing like you have a million things to trim around and edge around, then I can stick with this price. You lock them in. That's the biggest thing. Get them not to call anybody else. Get them just to settle with you. So, that being said, those are some of the tips that I have for beginners. There's a gazillion other ones out there. If any of you guys out there watching have some tips for beginners that you think are important, by all means, share them down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the little bell notification. That'll let you know when we have other videos for you. And I hope everybody has learned something from this, and I hope you take those tips and run with them. Thanks for watching.